exciting, right? Jessica McClarty. Would you come up here and join me, sweetheart? Her mom is with her, and her sweet little girl, Mackenzie, who is, I think, asleep right now. So, I'm going to take Jessica.
Can you hear her?
Does that work?
Yes. Okay. Good. Okay, well, I guess, Jessica, the very first question I'm going to ask you is, when you found out that you were pregnant, what was it that you were thinking about, and what were your plans?
I'll slide right on over. My name is Jessica McClarty. I am a student at the University of Oklahoma. And being a leader on campus, very involved in my community, I participated in the Miss Black University of Oklahoma scholarship pageant, and I was to go on to represent Norman in the statewide pageant. I was also the president of the National Association of Black Journalists. Good grades, just a leader in my community. And so that summer I had a study abroad trip planned and paid for to study in Italy. Once I found out that I was pregnant, I thought that was the end of everything. The father of my child played sport, and so the timing was not right for either one of us, or so I thought. Initially, there was no second guessing. We had to end the pregnancy. So we discussed it, and I was to go back to my hometown of Fort Worth, Texas, to have the procedure done. And that was what we were going to roll with. We did a little research in the state of Oklahoma. The Planned Parenthoods don't perform the actual procedure. So Texas was our next best option.
So, just nervous, and it's all right. How was it that the Italy helped you?
While we were doing our research, I Googled abortion clinics in pregnancy. I basically just put everything into the search engine to know as much as I could about the situation that I was in. And I ran across Eden Clinic, and at the time they were located on Robinson. And what attracted me to it was that I could go and get help for free. Sonograms, counseling, everything. And so I decided to reach out to the Eden Clinic, and they started providing services for not only me, but as well as the father of my child. We went, and we were going to see the sonogram of the baby, and before we actually did, we had a discussion about our options as far as continuing on with the pregnancy or aborting. An option was also adoption, but I did not want to take that option. I just did not want to have a baby. I was embarrassed. My family, I'm a first generation college student. I didn't want my family to think less of me. I knew all of the sacrifices that both my parents had made to get me to where I was. And so I didn't want to waste their money, their time, or embarrass them in front of my other family members because they were so proud of me. So when the father of my child and I went to talk to Eden Clinic, he was still set on me continuing on with the abortion. The first time that I decided to carry on with the procedure, I had to drive to Fort Worth, Texas to the Planned Parenthood. And at the time, I initial shock, she asked me, had I discussed it with him and what I was going to do. And I told my mother, Mom, I can't have this baby. And to hear my mother on the other line was the hardest thing that I've ever had to listen to, because she said, Jessica, you know that I don't support that, but you're my daughter and I love you. And if there's anything that I can do to convince you not to abort my grandchild, and I would immediately stop her, because I didn't want to have a connection to the child that was inside of me, and so I called it a bid. And the first attempt to have an abortion, I drove from Norman to Fort Worth, and it was early in the morning, and I talked to my mom on a regular basis, and she kept calling and kept calling and kept calling, and I wouldn't answer the phone. When I pulled up to the clinic, there were protesters with signs. They were very angry. And in the parking lot, I saw my mom's car. I hadn't told her anything. I immediately called my friends. Did you tell my mom I was coming? And to this day, I still don't know how my mom knew that I was there. So I drove around, running away from my mom, not the protesters. And she found me in the parking lot, and we cried in the parking lot together. And I just basically said, you know, I didn't want to hurt my family. I didn't want to embarrass my family. And she basically said, you know, Jessica, let's go home. But you need to make a decision, or time will make the decision for you. The second time, and this is unbeknownst to my mother during that time, the second time I went down with a friend for us both to have abortions. She was scheduled at the clinic in Dallas, and I was scheduled at Fort Worth. I dropped her off in Dallas. I went to Fort Worth to have my procedure done, and they told me that I was scheduled for the one in Dallas. So I could not make it to Dallas in 15 minutes, so I would have to reschedule. The third attempt, I made it to the right location, but I didn't have enough money because so much time had passed that they increased the price. And I had to reschedule. The very last attempt that I made to have an abortion, I had all the money that I needed. I had a friend with me, and I went through the pre-abortion counseling, and the nurse was called out. I seen the sonogram, everything, and it was my turn next, and the nurse was called out. And she was gone for maybe about 10 minutes. And in that 10 minutes, I'm thinking to myself, what is going on? It's my turn, I'm ready to get this over with. Study abroad in Italy to be in a pageant. I have a life to live. And she came in and said that the doctor that performs the procedure was taken to the emergency room. And in that moment, I was upset with God. And I'm just like, why? I need to have this done. And I go out into the lobby and I tell my friend that the doctor was taken to the emergency room, and she couldn't believe it. And it was me and 3 other women that had reached a point in our pregnancy that they don't perform the procedures after 13.6 weeks. They provided us with information for private clinics, and the prices were exorbitant. I talked with the father of my child, and I just said, look, God doesn't want me to do this. That man who performs those procedures, God stopped him from aborting our baby. I'm not going back through this. And after I made the decision to keep my daughter, at the time I didn't know what I was having. It was right before the father of my child's football season. And I felt like I went through my pregnancy alone. And all the while my mom, sorry, I just thank God that I can look over and see my mother and my baby. During my pregnancy, my mother prayed and prayed. And she would continuously tell me, fearfully and wonderfully made, that God knows our innermost being, and that He knits us while we're in our mother's womb. And that's when I began to have a connection with my daughter. I went through pregnancy wellness classes with Eden Clinic, and before I could complete the courses, I was having an emergency C-section 7 weeks early. Of course, my doctor told me that there was possibilities that my premature baby would have problems breathing, her lungs wouldn't be developed, and that we were pretty much in a position that didn't look good. I went through with the cesarean, and the first time I heard my baby cry, I had to thank God because her lungs were perfectly fine. She was perfectly healthy. She stayed in the NICU for 2 weeks, and of course I'm recuperating as well from my cesarean. And I went to the Eden Clinic to finish my last class. And I was greeted with a baby shower that was thrown for me, and I wasn't even present. And they had pictures and food and banners. They had the whole nine. And Eden Clinic presented me with the gifts from college students that had thrown a baby shower for me. But one of the most impactful gifts, which actually hangs over my daughter's crib, is a layette that said, "Fearfully and wonderfully made," which was the same prayer that my mother prayed while I was pregnant with my daughter. Sorry. And I didn't even plan to say this tonight, but not only is that a miracle, my 2-year-old daughter, but I am supposed to be an aborted child. And to see how God moves in miraculous ways, and He makes it clear His will and what needs to be done. It wasn't my decision, pro-life. It was God's decision. And He kept me from making the biggest mistake that I could have ever made. Because not only is Mackenzie a blessing to me, she's been a blessing in my family. My brother passed away when I was 15 years old to suicide. And at that point, my family started falling apart. My mother went through some depression, and she went through a point in time where she was afraid to love me and my sister because she thought that she would lose us. The relationship between me and my father pretty much disintegrated. And the birth of my daughter brought my family back together. My mom and my dad's marriage has started falling apart. And it brought them closer together. But the miracle in tonight is that my mother isn't supposed to be here tonight. My father was scheduled for surgery on Monday, and it got postponed. And my mother was able to make it here to support me. But not only too.